Ever wonder how a gentle breeze evolves into a force that can reshape entire landscapes? Picture this. A light wind picks up over the warm ocean surface, gathering heat and moisture as it travels. This warm air rises, creating an area of low pressure beneath it. More air rushes in to fill this void, and as it does, it too warms, rises and cools, forming clouds. This cycle repeats, each loop growing stronger and more intense, spiraling around a calm center, the eye of the storm. This, my friends, is the birth of a hurricane. These monstrous storms are not born overnight. It's the result of an intricate dance between the ocean and the atmosphere, a ballet performed over days, sometimes weeks. The warm, tropical waters provide the stage, and the winds above conduct the performance. Together they create a spectacle of nature that is as awe-inspiring as it is terrifying. But how do we measure these tempestuous performances? Enter the Saffir-Simpson scale, a 1 to 5 rating system based on a hurricane's sustained wind speed. This scale estimates potential property damage. Hurricanes reaching Category 3 and higher are considered major hurricanes because of their potential for significant loss of life and damage. On this scale, a Category 1 storm has winds of 74 to 95 miles per hour, enough to cause some damage to buildings and other structures. A Category 5 hurricane, the highest on the scale, boasts wind speeds of over 156 miles per hour. These storms can cause catastrophic damage, flattening houses, uprooting trees, and turning harmless objects into deadly projectiles. Understanding the formation and power of hurricanes is not just a matter of scientific curiosity. It's about acknowledging the sheer power of nature, realizing our vulnerability, and learning how to better prepare for and respond to these devastating events. Now, let's dive deeper into the destructive world of hurricanes, starting with the first of our top 5, Hurricane Sankixo. Dating back to the 18th century, our first hurricane is Sankixo, also known as the Great Storm of 1780. This was a tempest that wrote itself into the annals of history. Its fury was unmatched, its devastation unparalleled, and its legacy enduring. Hurricane Sankixo was a force of nature that seemed to defy all comprehension. It was not just a storm, but a cataclysm, a whirlwind of destruction that swept across the Caribbean, leaving little in its wake. The breadth of its impact was staggering, affecting areas from Barbados to Puerto Rico, and even reaching as far as Bermuda and the east coast of North America. The death toll was estimated to be in the tens of thousands, making it one of the deadliest hurricanes in recorded history. Barbados bore the brunt of the storm, with hardly a tree left standing on the island. The once verdant landscape was stripped bare, transformed into a desolate wasteland by the storm's relentless winds. The aftermath of Sankixo was a scene of unimaginable devastation. Buildings, crops, and entire communities were obliterated. The storm wrought havoc on the region's economy, disrupting trade and plunging many into poverty. The recovery was slow and arduous, the scars of the storm visible for many years after. But it was not just the physical damage that made Sankixo so devastating. The psychological toll was equally profound. The storm was a grim reminder of the merciless power of nature, a wake-up call that left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the Caribbean. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the people of the Caribbean showed remarkable resilience. They rebuilt their lives, their communities, and their economies, demonstrating a spirit of endurance and determination that is truly inspiring. Sankixo set a grim standard for hurricanes, but unfortunately it was far from the last of its kind. This storm stands as a stark reminder of the raw, unbridled power of nature, a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Fast forward to 1998 and we encounter Hurricane Mitch, a slow-moving disaster that took the world by surprise. Our story begins in the late October of 1998 when a storm began to brew in the Caribbean Sea. What started as a tropical depression quickly escalated into a Category 5 hurricane, christened with the name Mitch. But what set Mitch apart was not its sheer power, but its agonizing pace. This hurricane moved at a crawl, hovering over Central America and relentlessly pouring rain for days on end. Mitch's slow motion was its most destructive attribute. As it lingered over Honduras and Nicaragua, the torrential downpour caused rivers to overflow their banks and hillsides to collapse. Entire villages were swept away, and major cities found themselves underwater. The storm claimed more than 11,000 lives and left over 1 million people homeless, making it one of the deadliest hurricanes in history. But the devastation didn't end with the storm. The aftermath of Mitch was characterized by disease, famine, and economic collapse. With infrastructure decimated, vital supplies couldn't reach those in need. Clean water was scarce, leading to outbreaks of cholera and dengue fever. Food was hard to come by, and the region's agriculture was devastated. The economies of Honduras and Nicaragua, already among the poorest in the Western Hemisphere, were set back by decades. Mitch was a tragedy in slow motion, a calamity that unfolded over days rather than hours. It was a stark departure from the quick, violent storms we often associate with hurricanes. Yet the destruction it wrought was no less severe, perhaps even more so because of the time it had to inflict its damage. Mitch's slow pace amplified its destruction, a chilling reminder of how each hurricane carries its unique brand of devastation. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina redefined the meaning of catastrophic, becoming the costliest storm in US history. This relentless force of nature was a stark reminder of how vulnerable we are to the whims of the weather. Katrina began as a mere tropical depression, gradually gaining momentum over the Bahamas before escalating into a Category 5 hurricane over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Its final landfall was in Louisiana, but not before it had wreaked havoc across a swathe of the United States from Florida to Texas. The city that bore the brunt of Katrina's wrath was New Orleans, a vibrant, bustling city known for its lively music scene and rich cultural heritage. New Orleans was brought to its knees by this devastating hurricane. Katrina's powerful winds and surging waters overwhelmed the city's defenses, leading to the failure of the levees. These levees, designed to protect the city from flooding, crumbled under the onslaught, allowing Katrina's storm surge to inundate around 80% of New Orleans. Homes were destroyed, streets were turned into rivers, and entire neighborhoods were washed away in the blink of an eye. But the destruction didn't end when the storm abated. In the aftermath of Katrina, the city was plunged into chaos. Essential services were disrupted, roads were impassable, and thousands were left homeless. The rescue and relief efforts were hampered by the sheer scale of the disaster, and it took months, even years, for the city to begin to recover. Even now, more than a decade later, the scars left by Katrina are still visible. The storm served as a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the need for better disaster preparedness and the importance of investing in infrastructure that can withstand such catastrophic events. Katrina's impact is still felt today, a testament to the enduring power of hurricanes. It's a stark reminder of the fragile balance between humanity and nature, and the price we pay when that balance is upset. Our final hurricane, Maria, struck in 2017, leaving an indelible mark on Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. Hurricane Maria, a name now synonymous with devastation, swept through the Caribbean in September of 2017. This Category 5 storm, the 10th most intense Atlantic hurricane on record, set its sights on Puerto Rico, a vibrant island known for its rich culture and lush landscapes. Maria made landfall with winds reaching a staggering 175 miles per hour. The hurricane's wrath was unyielding, leaving the island in a state of utter devastation. Infrastructure crumbled, homes were obliterated, and the island's lush greenery was stripped bare. The storm's aftermath was a haunting reflection of its brutal strength. But the hurricane's physical destruction was just the beginning. The island's power grid was decimated, leaving the entire island without electricity. For many months following the hurricane, Puerto Ricans lived in darkness, a grim testament to Maria's long-lasting impact. Basic necessities like clean water, food, and medical supplies became scarce, exacerbating the already dire situation. Even years after the storm, the scars of Maria remain. The hurricane's impact on the island's economy and mental health of its residents cannot be overstated. The storm claimed thousands of lives, either directly or indirectly, and left an indelible mark on the people of Puerto Rico. Maria, like the others, serves as a stark reminder of the relentless power of nature. So, we've journeyed through time, witnessing the might and fury of these top 5 hurricanes. From the great storm of 1780's unyielding tempest to Hurricane Maria's modern-day monstrosity, each storm paints a vivid picture of the relentless and unforgiving power of hurricanes. They've shown us how they can alter landscapes, devastate communities, and change lives forever. Understanding these storms is crucial, for their power is undeniable, their impact unforgettable, and their lessons invaluable. Stay safe and remember, respect the power of nature.